Those moments, right? When it's quiet and some simple, maybe kind of uncomfortable truth just pops into your head. It's not some big, complicated theory, just a feeling that cuts through all the noise. Well, we're going to talk about one of those today. The idea that when you really, truly get down to it, it was always up to you.
So let's just start with a really direct question. And I want you to be honest with yourself for a second. Think about your job, your daily routine, your relationships, where you're headed. If all of that stayed exactly the same for the next 5 years, would you be okay with that? Really?
If that question made you a little uncomfortable, then the next question is, why do we get so stuck? A lot of the time, it's because we've bought into this really subtle but powerful trap. And that brings us to our first big idea, the illusion of waiting. I mean, this is it, isn't it? We confuse thinking about something with actually doing something. It feels so productive to research the perfect gym routine or map out a business plan, but if you never actually take the first step, it's just a very comfortable way to procrastinate. We're not making progress, we're just waiting. And usually we're waiting for one of two things. First, this one. We're waiting for some magical jolt of motivation. You know, that lightning bolt of inspiration that's supposed to strike out of nowhere and finally push us to get started. We think motivation is something that just happens to us. And the second thing we're waiting for is this, the perfect moment. That mythical time when all the stars align, everything is easy, there's zero risk, and success is guaranteed. We keep telling ourselves, oh, I'll start when, but you know what? That when might not ever show up. But here's the thing that just completely shatters that illusion. The right time isn't some destination you stumble upon. It's not something you find, it's something you create. It's a decision you make to just start, right now, with whatever you've got. This metaphor just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's like a surfer who just stands on the beach watching all these waves go by, waiting for the one wave that's so perfect it'll just magically carry them out to sea. That's not how it works. You got to get in the water, you got to start paddling. So, if we're not taking action, what are we doing with all that time? Well, a lot of the time, we're doing something that feels like we're protecting ourselves, but it's actually holding us back. And this brings us to what we call the blame cycle. Let's do another quick, honest check in. Just think back for a second. 2 years ago. It kind of feels like forever ago and also just yesterday, right? But what has really fundamentally changed for you since then? For a lot of us, the uncomfortable answer is not a whole lot. And that's because it's so much easier to find reasons outside of ourselves. And here they are, the usual suspects. My job is just too demanding right now. That's circumstances. Well, my partner doesn't really support my idea. That's other people. It was just bad timing. We've all been there. And in the moment, they feel like totally valid reasons. And this is the choice we're making, whether we realize it or not. Blame feels comfortable, right? It protects our ego from feeling like we've failed. But the cost is huge. It keeps you stuck. It makes you a passenger in your own life. Responsibility? Yeah, that feels hard. It means you have to admit you're part of the equation. But that's where the magic is. That admission is exactly what sets you free. Okay, so this leads us to the big turning point. This is the moment where all the excuses start to crumble and the truth finally sinks in. This is the hard realization. I just want you to let that one sit for a second. No mentor is going to discover you out of the blue. No lucky break is going to just fall out of the sky and solve all your problems. No one is coming to do the push-ups for you. That person you've been waiting for, the one who's going to push you every single day, they're not coming. The whole point is this. You gotta stop looking for a savior because you're already in the driver's seat. And it's actually more than that. You're not just the driver. You're the navigator too. You're holding the map, the compass, and the keys. You decide where you're going, and you decide when to hit the gas. So if it's all on us, where in the world do you even begin? It can feel overwhelming. But it's not about one massive, life-changing moment. The real answer is way smaller. It's quieter, and it happens every single day. See, your life is really just the grand total of all your tiny daily choices. The choice to scroll on your phone instead of reading a chapter of that book. The choice to hit snooze instead of getting up. These little decisions, when you repeat them over and over, they quietly turn days into years. And those years become the story of your life. They add up to either a pile of regrets or a mountain of progress. And this is so, so important to hear. You don't need to control the economy or what your boss is thinking. You just need enough control to decide what you do with this next hour. Can you write one email? Can you go for a 10-minute walk? That's it. That's where your real power is, in the here and now. You just need enough control to start. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. We've gone from the illusion of waiting, through the comfort of the blame cycle, to that hard realization that no one is coming to the rescue. And it all leads to this final, and honestly, super empowering conclusion. We tend to think of responsibility as this heavy weight, right? Like a punishment. But what if we just flip that on its head? Responsibility isn't a burden, it's power. Because the second you truly accept, okay, this is up to me, you also, in the very same breath, get to say, and because it's up to me, I can change it. So in the end, this is the choice, laid out as clearly as possible. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to look back at this exact period of your life, and you're going to have one of two thoughts. Is it going to be the voice of regret, saying, I just wish I had started then? Or is it going to be the voice of pride, saying, I am so glad I did? And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. All those stories we tell ourselves about luck, about bad timing, about the universe being against us, they're just distractions. The main character in your story, the director, the one with the power to write the very next scene, it was always and will always be you. So the real question was never when or how, it's what. What is the one small thing you can do today to start creating that right time instead of just waiting around for it? Because the answer to that question, well, that could change absolutely everything.